Hello and welcome to the first module, selecting colors and applying the base shapes. Okay, so we have our Limes reference JPEG here open, and basically what we're going to do is have a look at selecting colors and then discuss the different color variants that you've come across when creating a vector still life illustration as we're about to do. Okay, so first things first, we're just going to go over to our layers palette and lock the reference layer. Okay, and we're going to double click on it to give it a title, which is going to be reference. Okay, excellent. If we have a look at the limes as we have them now, we'll just have a zoom in, put that down there for the second. If we have a zoom in to the fully skinned lime, for example, we can see that there's a lot of variance in greens. Okay, so just zoom out from the top. It's very light, almost whitish green, and it comes through to a mid green, goes lighter here at this area, and then as we come down to the bottom with the shadows, also comes a lot deeper. Now if we look at the texture, and we can see that we've got a lot of contours and divots, okay, actually go inside, so we'll accurately convey those also. All right, excellent. So basically what we want to do is a color selection for a mid-tone color initially, and what we want to do with our colors is make them as vibrant as possible, so we have a really realistic vector illustration that is hopefully a little bit more appealing than a photo. A lot of the time when we look at packaging illustrations, they have actual vector graphics or really realistic pixel illustrations. They have an artist do the packaging work for them just to bring that extra dynamicity and life to them. We're going to chase that look and effect ourselves here. So the first thing we're going to do is just create a new layer. As we see now, if we select the eyedropper tool, and because we haven't got a layer, we have the circle with a line across it saying that we can't select. That's Illustrator's way of telling us that this layer is locked. We haven't got an active layer that we can select from. So we create a new layer, okay, and we'll just call this base shape. Okay, excellent. Now we're just going to go in with the eyedropper tool and just have a quick look at the different variants. Got the swatches palette open here, and we've got our colors palette. So again, we've got the eyedropper selected, and now we just select there. We see we've got, that's a good sort of mid-tone green. Now if I come over to the right where there's a bit more deepness in the color, you see it goes considerably darker, and if I come down here it goes darker still. Okay, now for our mid color, we're looking for something that is in the middle between light and dark, so we can work the light contours off of it and also the dark contours. Okay, so we're just going to come over here and select this color for our base shape color. So we see we've got that base green there. So basically what I like to do, just to add a little bit more oomph in the colors, is just going to double click on the base green and bring up our color picker, and we're just going to take it up slightly and to the right slightly, just to add a little bit more brightness to it. Okay, so we've actually just going to click OK there. Now we're going to go and drop it over into our swatches palette and just take a record of the color. And that's R112, G is 173, and B is 50. Okay, and we're going to call this base green. In a project like this, it's always good, especially with your base colors, just to swatch that. Okay, and that is basically what the method we're going to do to sort of pick colors and add a bit more dynamicity. Next thing we're going to do is actually draw the shape. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come along with the pen tool. So we're just going to select P for pen tool, and we're going to start in this corner here. Okay, and we're literally just going to come in and just draw our base shape. Okay, so I'm actually going to do is go up to the transparency palette, put the opacity to 0. Okay. Now we could use something like the ellipse tool, but because if you look at a line, and if obviously we're looking at the outside here, it's not completely straight, so we would have to put many different anchor points in there afterwards, so it'd be more time consuming. So this is why we're using the pen tool. We're just doing a nice click and drag motion along the outside like so. Okay, nice and regimented. Okay, just go along the outside like so. We're putting as much as we can space in between our anchor points. Okay, well, we've got some more details, curves and crevices. We'll just groove in along like so. Just nice and easy click and drag motion, and I might zoom out one and then continue. Okay, now this is going to be a sort of a long shape, but once we've got our base shape there, we've got the structure for us to go on with the whole sort of tutorial. Okay, and then along the bottom as we see it, so we've got some orange blurs. We're going to ignore those and just concentrate on where it's solid green. Okay, and on the bottom here, be as tight as possible, but we're going to have to come along over this with the shadow, so being 100% accurate here is not necessary. And then again, so we're looking for the, I would say, the base green just along the outside there, just before the shadow kicks in. Alright, so we're going along the outside still, just being regimented. Okay, like so, just a nice click and drag motion, always in control, never going too far to the left or right. Now if you move one of your anchor points off point, and you notice, for example, if I come here and then I go back there, instead of going all the way back, we can just click the direct selection tool, for example, and just pull that back into place like so. Then just hit P for pen tool and just get the minus sign and just click on the last anchor point there, and that allows you to continue. Okay, so like so, just go, like we say, just clicking and dragging all the way along. Okay, and then we're going to come on to this point. So what we'll do is we'll just go along the outside of the sliced lemon also. We'll just keep that as one solid shape for the most part. Okay, I'm just gonna get in some creases in the screen, so I'm just gonna go to View, Preview, CPU, just to give a more pixelated view, and that alleviates those creases that were coming in. So even here, we're gonna have to come over this with a sort of a really light grey kind of shine. It's amazing how much color variations you do get within fruit that is predominantly green or one color, even with oranges, for example. Okay, I would say just going along. Just going to keep disciplined. I would say same scenario here. I'm going to come over these areas with a darker, with the shadow color, so just be over the edge like so. Okay, and then now what we'll do is just go out there outside now just to complete our shape. Okay, so it's coming along the outside. Just along to finish. This can be done pretty swiftly once you get a control of the actual pen tool. We recommend some sort of tablet to do this, but you can do this tutorial with a mouse. I'm actually using a Wacom tablet. Okay, and we can see it's getting progressively lighter. Okay, so for this part, we're okay just to come along the edge here, because we're going to have to come over this with a lighter color. Okay, and then when we get to this part again where it turns to the green, where we're going to base from, then again we'll go back to doing the tight outside edge here. All right, maybe zoom in and to finish. Okay, so we can see we built up this base shape within a matter of minutes. Okay, that's excellent. So just going along the outside like so. And then we'll have a look and assessment of the initial shape and discuss what we're going to do as we go on. So again, just nice and tight around the outside. It's the finite details that, so just zooming out here, you can see there's a lot of light transitions on the outside, especially at the top where the light peaks, which will make it for a really cool finish. Alright, so like we say, just come along the outside here and complete our shape. Get our circle, put our opacity up to 100, and then we'll just zoom out. And obviously now we can see that most of the lime is actually obscured, but we've got our base color there where we're going to work dark and light from. Okay, so that wraps up this clip and module, selecting colors and applying the base shape. In the next module, we're going to look at administering the medium and dark contours.